Jason Duggar became the recent sibling from the Duggar clan to tie the knot. Duggar News followers knew it would happen soon. That's because he had gone Instagram official with his girlfriend a few months ago. After seeing their coziness on social media photos, fans were surprised as he went against Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's courtship rules. But as long as Jason and Maddie looked happy, fans didn't mind. In fact, they were happy to see the members of the family question the toxic rules instead of blindly following them. The couple had a lavish fall wedding earlier in October, but it looks like something caught everyone's eye at the event. Jason and Maddie's dance floor was empty. Why was that? Duggar News: what happened during Jason Duggar and Maddie Grace's wedding? Jason and Maddie surprised Duggar News followers by announcing their engagement in August 2024. They had started dating in December 2023. Merely 2 months after this milestone, they also tied the knot in October 2024. Since it was a fall wedding, the ceremony took place in Newport, Tennessee, at the estate at Sweetwater Creek. Tennessee is Maddie's home state. Almost 300 people were on the guest list and had a special ring warming ceremony. It means that they prayed over the rings before the exchange. The location was breathtaking amidst scenic mountains. But while Jason's sister Duggar discussed the details of the wedding on her podcast, she mentioned something odd. Apparently, the dance floor at the wedding was mostly empty. Why was that? Duggar News: Jason and Maddie had an empty dance floor. Why is that? As Jason is the newest Duggar to tie the knot, his wedding has been the talk of the town. In fact, his elder sister Duggar and her husband Jeremy also shared special tidbits about the special day on their podcast. While they couldn't stop gushing over what a great ceremony it was, they mentioned something odd about the event too. It turns out the dance floor at the party was mostly empty. Jeremy said that the DJ kept playing hit after hit, but no one came to dance much. He said that there were tracks like Cha-Cha Slide and YMCA, during which people came to dance. But they only did so because the lyrics of the song had instructions about how to dance. Finally, Jeremy went up to the DJ to chat with him. He explained to him that the Duggars never danced, and it was the first time they had had a dance floor at a wedding. Hence, they weren't putting it to use much. Jeremy asked the DJ if he had any idea what he was up to during the wedding. The latter said no, but it was wild. Duggar agreed to this. She said that dancing really isn't part of the Duggar culture, so it was interesting to see them open up, even if it was for just a few songs. The Duggar family, known for their conservative values, large family size, and reality TV fame, has often captured the public's attention with their unique lifestyle and rules. One of the quirks that has drawn considerable curiosity is their long-standing stance on dancing. This strict rule against dancing stems from the Duggars' adherence to modesty, caution against temptation, and religious principles. The idea is to avoid anything that might lead to physical closeness or worldly behavior, which they see as potentially compromising. The Duggars' no dancing policy has been evident over the years. Watching the family grow up on their show, *19 Kids and Counting*, and later *Counting on*, viewers saw an absence of typical celebratory activities, like dancing at family gatherings or weddings. Instead, Duggar events focused on other expressions of joy, such as music, speeches, and group games that encouraged everyone to bond without breaking their family rules. Recently, this curious rule was brought back into the spotlight due to Jason Duggar and Maddie's wedding. As friends and family gathered to celebrate the joyous occasion, many fans wondered if the couple would break tradition. Would they, or their guests, indulge in a first dance, or allow for a shared moment on the dance floor? Instead, true to Duggar form, the wedding dance floor remained unused, further confirming that the family's no dancing stance is still very much intact. But why has dancing been such a firm boundary in the Duggar household, and how did this all come to be? Let's delve deeper into the reasons behind the rule. the impact of this policy on the Duggar children, and how the world has reacted to it over the years. The roots of the Duggar stance on dancing. The Duggar family's beliefs are rooted in a conservative interpretation of Christian values, where modesty, self-control, and purity are emphasized above all. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, the family patriarch and matriarch, chose to follow a strict interpretation of biblical teachings, which they believe offers guidance on how to live a righteous life. They believe that certain activities, such as dancing, can lead to immoral thoughts or actions, and they have chosen to remove those activities from their family environment. Jim Bob and Michelle believe that dancing, especially when done in pairs, can encourage physical closeness, which they see as inappropriate outside of marriage. Their view is that physical closeness should be reserved for marriage, and they fear that dancing could potentially lead to a slippery slope of temptation. Instead, they advocate for activities that keep both mind and body in check. Another concern the Duggars hold about dancing is that it might foster worldly influences. The family's sheltered lifestyle aims to reduce exposure to what they consider negative influences from mainstream media and pop culture. They see dancing as a part of a broader societal trend of permissiveness, which they strive to avoid. The Duggars want to make sure that their children remain focused on a life devoted to family and faith. Growing up Duggar. The impact on the children growing up in a family with such strong values has undoubtedly shaped the Duggar children in many ways. For most kids, dancing is a typical part of life, especially during adolescence. School dances, birthday parties, and family gatherings often feature dance as a form of expression, joy, and social bonding. For the Duggar children, however, this was never the case. Many of them have grown up without ever experiencing a dance floor, whether at a prom, a friend's party, or even their own wedding. Interestingly, several Duggar children have spoken publicly about their family's strict upbringing, sharing both positive and challenging aspects of it. While some appreciate the structure and values instilled by their parents, others have expressed curiosity and a desire to explore beyond those boundaries. For instance, Jinger Duggar Volo, who moved to Los Angeles with her husband, Jeremy Volo, has openly discussed her journey in questioning and sometimes redefining the rules she grew up with. Though she hasn't explicitly mentioned dancing, her openness to trying new things shows how leaving the family home has allowed her to expand her worldview. Still, for other Duggar kids who remain closer to home, the restrictions are generally upheld without question. They see it as part of the family identity, a feature that sets them apart. Despite the restrictions, it's clear that the family remains closely knit and supportive of one another's choices, even as some explore life beyond the Duggar mold. The fans' reactions. Curiosity and speculation fans and critics alike have often expressed curiosity about the Duggars' no dancing policy, especially when it comes to big family milestones like weddings. For most people, a wedding without dancing is almost unheard of, as dance floors are usually a central feature of the celebration. The fact that the Duggars consistently avoid it has left fans both puzzled and intrigued. At Jason and Maddie's wedding, the absence of dancing once again raised questions. Some fans speculated whether the younger Duggars would eventually move away from such a strict interpretation of their family's values, while others admired their commitment to tradition. For some fans, the lack of a dance floor is disappointing, as they might hope to see the Duggars loosen up and celebrate in a more conventional way. The reaction of fans often varies based on their views of the family. While some respect the family's decision to stick to their values, others argue that the no dancing policy may deprive the children of experiencing joy in a simple and universal form. The Duggar family has always had a polarized audience, and this is just one more area where opinions diverge. The broader debate. Dancing in Christian culture. The Duggars are not the only Christians who choose to avoid dancing. Many conservative Christian communities, including some Baptist and Pentecostal denominations, have historically taken a similar stance. They, too, view dancing as a potential catalyst for temptation and distraction from spiritual pursuits. However, many other Christians interpret the Bible differently and embrace dance as a form of joyful expression, especially when used to celebrate weddings, holidays, and worship. This contrast highlights an important aspect of religious interpretation. Not all Christians have the same rules, even when they share a common faith. For some, dance is seen as an art form that can even glorify God, while for others, it's considered a distraction or potential pathway to sinful thoughts. It's a reminder that religious beliefs, even within Christianity, can vary widely depending on individual interpretation and cultural background. ###the future. Will the next generation of Duggars dance? As the Duggar children grow up, start families of their own, and form their individual beliefs, many wonder if the next generation will keep or abandon the no dancing rule. As some of the Duggar children continue to explore the world outside their family's traditions, it's possible they may introduce their own children to activities like dancing. In fact, glimpses of change can already be seen among some Duggar siblings. As mentioned, Jinger Duggar Volo has been open about questioning the rules she grew up with. Although she has not publicly said whether she has danced or would allow her children to, her more relaxed approach to certain Duggar values could signal a shift. The Duggar family's strict stance on dancing may remain firmly in place for those still living near home or adhering closely to their parents' guidance. But as the family expands and grows, there's a chance that at least some members may embrace dancing as a joyful expression rather than a taboo. Only time will tell if future Duggar weddings will feature the long unused dance floor, finally filled with the sound of music and the laughter of family and friends enjoying a shared moment of celebration. In the end, the Duggar family's stance on dancing speaks to the unique way they live out their faith and values. While many find it hard to relate to or understand, the Duggars have chosen to prioritize their beliefs above societal norms, even if that means leaving the dance floor empty. Whether one agrees or not, the Duggar family remains committed to living life on their terms, without missing a beat. If you are looking for more Duggar family news, stay tuned by subscribing to this channel for all your updates.